Sam Shade, the final coach here on this 2025 SWAC Football Media Day. Coach Shade, it is a pleasure to meet you. I've heard so many good things, and welcome to the SWAC.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be on the show.
We were talking yesterday, doing games for Alcorn. You were sharing some stories about how you got some players that went to Alcorn. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, there was one guy. My high school is here in Birmingham, Alabama, Winona High School. There was a guy named Eric Jackson, man, that played at Alcorn, linebacker. You know, he was maybe what you call undersized as far as his height, but a strong sideline guy. He was an all SWAC guy at Alcorn and a good friend of mine till this day, actually. So, and then there's some guys on my staff. Actually, our chief of staff, Coach LaRon White, he actually played with me at Alabama. His father actually played at Alcorn, and just a lot of people from the Birmingham area that I know that actually played at Alcorn. So, when I saw you, I started thinking about those folks.
And of course, when you think about Alcorn, all the talent, the rich history, the tradition, and of course, we're coming to Cruz Stadium, the first home game, the Cruz Classic. So that's going to be interesting.
Yes, first home game for us, Lewis Cruz Classic. I tell you, it's going to be a really good crowd for that. A lot of people that come back for the Lewis Cruz Classic in honor of Coach Lewis Cruz, and we're going to have a lot of former players back for that. And we've been going around the state getting everybody excited about getting up on the hill. So you guys are going to have some, it's going to be a great atmosphere.
Well, I mean, I looked you up first year of head coach Alabama A&M. You were at Miles for 2 years. You won a state high school championship. Then at Miles, you won the SIAC in 2024. So you've kind of done it at all levels. It kind of feels like you're ready for this opportunity. You kind of took that step ladder approach.
Well, first off, I'm excited to be in the SWAC. I'm honored to be in the SWAC. I've always considered the SWAC one of the top football conferences in LCS football in the country, and I really believe that. You look at historically all the great coaches, all the great players, the Hall of Fame coaches and players, and even now there are a lot of good coaches in this conference and a lot of good football players. So I'm truly honored to have this opportunity.
And then, I've learned about when you were at Miles and Alabama State going toe-to-toe, even Miles and Alabama A&M. Just talk about Alabama football in general. When you talk about Alabama State, you talk about A&M, you talk about Tuskegee, you talk about Miles. There's a lot to dissect with that.
That there is. I think the thing that we've got is similar to Mississippi. We don't have a professional football. Well, we don't have an NFL team. Obviously, we've got the Birmingham Stallions that play in the spring league, but from the time I was 5-7 years old, I think I've known how big football is in this state. I was chomping at the bit to get an opportunity to play, and also growing up, I had a chance to watch a lot of great games at Legion Field between Alabama and Alabama State, the Magic City Classic, and so I definitely understand how important it is to people in this state.
And I assume that you have pretty good recruiting ties when you got the job in Huntsville, going out recruiting, knowing the landscape. I'm sure that made that a little bit easier for you.
It does. It really does. And, for instance, obviously there are a number of coaches around this state that I've known for so many years, even before I became a college coach. And so, people ask, well, how does that help you? Well, for instance, if I'm in Texas, if I take a job in Texas or North Carolina, then I'm not able to pick that phone up and call a guy that's won 3 or 4 state championships in a row and have a conversation where he knows me, he knows what I'm looking for, things like that. But I'm able to do those things in this state, and I feel like it definitely gives me, an edge in recruiting in the state of Alabama. But we also recruit in Georgia, Mississippi, Florida, Tennessee, and so I've got some relationships there too. And a lot of my coaches on my staff have a lot of relationships, not only in Alabama but in those states that I just mentioned.
Well, I tell you what, a lot of coaches talking a lot of stuff and You know, everybody, but I haven't heard anything from Sam Shade or Alabama A&M. I haven't heard that for sure. Now that I've met you, I get the feeling that it just the less you say, the better. You let your talking on the field do the work.
Yes, I've always been one of those guys. That's something that goes all the way back to when I played high school ball. My high school head coach, Coach Ronald Cheatham, he didn't say a whole lot, but you knew when we showed up we were going to come and play hard. And obviously playing at Alabama under Coach Gene Stallings, Coach Stallings didn't say a whole lot about what we were going to do. But and he would intentionally tell the team, he would say, look, I know you guys feel this way about, this game or whatever, but let me do all the talking. I don't want you guys saying anything to give a little bit of motivation to the other team.
And you walk in a situation in Huntsville with Dr. Bryant, the athletic director, who I've known. He was an AD for a minute at Grambling and then Edward Waters. Smiling, just loves the environment, but wants to win.
Yes.
I've learned now the other side I didn't know until recently. Like, that man wants to win. Don't let the smiling and smiling with the horses fool you. Getting on the horse and putting on the cowboy hat. Don't let that fool you. Behind the scenes, that Dr. Bryant wants to win. Joe, you're walking in a good situation. It seems like facility upgrades. There's a lot of stuff going on there in Huntsville.
Well, actually, that was important to me in the interview process. When you interview for a job as a coach, you're also interviewing the person that's interviewing you, because there's some things that you want to know before you take a job. You want to know how many scholarships you're going to have. You want to know, are there plans to do things facilities wise. You want to know how we're going to take care of the student athletes as far as from an academic standpoint and nutrition and all those things. And so what I found that Dr. Bryant and myself are in alignment. The vision that I have for Alabama A&M football is the same as what he has for Alabama A&M athletics as a whole. And then it even goes on to our president, Dr. Williams, who I had a chance to sit down with before I got the job. And, he interviewed me, and I asked some questions of him. And it's great that we're in alignment, the three of us, as far as what our visions are.
Well, just let's talk about what you got going on now, and with the season kicking off and all that. Talk about what you got going on right now with your program here mid-July.
Well, we're actually finishing up our summer program. We had a number of guys in for summer school, taking classes, trying to get ahead. Some guys trying to set themselves up to graduate at different times. So, summer school's not always for guys that didn't do well. And so that's good. But we've had a chance to have them work with our strength and conditioning coach, who he's Coach Big John Williams, who's been around. He's been at a number of places. And the guys have really responded well to him in the conditioning work that they do on the field and also in the weight room.
It should be fun. When we were in the East, when Alcorn was in the Eastern Division, every other year we would play Alabama A&M either on their homecoming, or it would always be a 1 o'clock game.
Okay.
But we're playing them at 6. We were playing guys at 6 o'clock in the Cruz Classic. That's going to be interesting. The first home game, I'm sure it's going to be a great crowd and a great atmosphere.
Well, it's going to be hot. I think that's one of the reasons we're going to play at 6.
Hot in Huntsville?
Yes, and you're talking about September 6th. It'll be hot. It really will. It'll be hot.
I talk with Elvan Petaway, and every time I go to Huntsville, it's cold. It may be 40 degrees when we get up there.
Well, you coming at a good time, then. No, it's going to be hot. That's the reason we're playing at 6 o'clock, and I'm all in on that. That's about player safety. Because it's early in the season and those guys are still getting acclimated to playing whole games and stuff. So that's the right thing to do.
Every time I come to Huntsville, it's cold. Every time I come to Huntsville, it is cold. If it's cold in September, now I love the heat. If it's cold in September, Coach, I'm not coming back.
It won't be cold in September.
Okay.
Trust me, it won't be cold.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. I just want to make that perfectly clear. It just seems like every time I come to Huntsville, it's 40 degrees colder in Huntsville than it is in Mississippi. I don't know, but I think you may be right. But if not, it'll be nice knowing you because you won't be seeing me.
Oh man, I'm glad you're coming early in the season.
Looking forward to it though, because
yes, sir.
I'm sure the fan base is excited. First home game. the Cruz class is going to be a lot of, I'm sure, pageantry and all that. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, we are also, everybody involved, we're all looking forward to it.
Well, Coach, we appreciate we'll be talking to you soon.
Yes, sir. All right, I got to hit you with the Go Bulldogs.
Go Bulldogs.
All
Go
right.
Braves. Well, that's going to do it, ladies and gentlemen, for SWAC Football Media Day 2025. We got to 11 of the 12 coaches. T.C. Taylor, they're heading to Atlanta for something that they're doing, so we couldn't quite get T.C. Taylor. We tried to get a couple of minutes out of him, but he had to take off, but we'll get him at another time. We appreciate everybody joining us, our producers, the one and only Jay Miles. Great job back in the studio. Cedric Tillman, great job behind the camera. We appreciate Sam Shade and all the coaches that have come by, the athletic directors, the commissioner, the players. We appreciate it all. Football season is here, folks. Hope you enjoy it. We'll talk to you soon, folks. I'm Charles Edmond for the Braves Sports Network. So long.